Hi there everybody, we're going to go over the Quick Start Guide, which really talks all about your program details when you're in the weight loss phase of doing 5-in-1. We call it 5-in-1 because you're doing 5 meal replacements a day, spaced out every 2.5 to 3 hours. And then the 1 is the lean and green. That's basically the meal that you'll be preparing yourself most of the time. We also refer this as the L&G, the lean and green. So let's talk about that in detail. That's what this video is about, is just the lean and green. When you got your boxes, you received a green folder, and inside the green folder you have the Quick Start Guide. It looks like this. I also sent a PDF to you earlier in case you wanted to look it over prior to your boxes coming to start getting familiar with it. So you may have made an additional copy of it. Perfectly fine. Maybe you have a use for one in your kitchen, one in your car, one in your purse, something like that. It's also a PDF in the email I sent you, so if you've got a smartphone, it works wonderful to download that to your phone also, so you don't have to actually have a hard copy with you. If you're at friends' houses or you're out and about and you're eating out, any of those PDFs, you can open them up in Acrobat Reader in your smartphone, and it's really handy. So we're going to go over the Quick Start Guide, and again, we're only going to be talking about the lean and green. The lean and green is the one meal that you prepare yourself. So if you would open up the Quick Start Guide and open up to page 3. Page 3 shows you a chart on here of 3 different sections. And in these sections, it talks about the leanest, the leaner, and the lean. And when we're talking about this, you're basically having 5 to 7 ounces of a lean protein. So everything you can have, steak, ground beef, leaner options like ground turkey, boneless, skinless chicken, and even leaner would be like shrimp or a white fish, like a cod or a haddock, tilapia, those kinds of things. So the big deal here is watching on the chart. It's 5 to 7 ounces. This is always cooked weight. Now, I bring this to your attention because it is important for you to have a food scale if you don't already have one. You don't need anything fancy. Just go to Walmart or somewhere and grab an easy one. Maybe if you travel a lot, a small version or something. And then again, it's 5 to 7 ounces cooked weight. If you go out to a restaurant and you order a steak or something that you are ordering, they'll always tell you your raw weight. So if you need to convert that, just always remember it's about 30 to 40% less when it is cooked down and has the fat removed. So when we talk about this little chart, just remember if it's on these charts, you can have it, and just make sure you have the appropriate measurements between 5, 6, and 7 ounces. The one key thing here also is the healthy fats. Now what does that mean? If you look up here, it says, for instance, under the leanest, that you can have 7 ounces of a portion of cooked weight plus 2 healthy fat servings. The 2 healthy fat servings, let's talk about that. When it's something lean like a cod or a tilapia, it's not a fatty fish. But if we're having a salmon, and the salmon shows down here, where you only have 5 ounces, it already says that no healthy fat servings. Basically that means this, that you have 2 healthy fat servings already cooked in the fish. We all know the heart health of omega-3s that are in something like a salmon. So if you kind of take that into consideration and just remember that as a rule of thumb, the very first thing you need to do is, 1, what am I having for my lean and green? What am I having for my lean portion? And does it contain healthy fats? If the answer is yes, if it's 1 or 2, pay attention to that. And we're going to talk more in detail about healthy fats coming up here in my next segment. But right now, let's just pay attention to our lean choices and being aware, does it contain a healthy fat or doesn't it contain a healthy fat? Okay, so that's it about the lean portion. Let's turn the page and talk about the green portion. So that's obviously your vegetables. Doesn't mean it has to be green, but we say that basically because it gives you the mindset of something that's not starchy. If you have a starchy vegetable like potatoes or corn, and actually if you look right up above the red writing, it gives you a list of all the ones that is not actually for program. It's because they have a higher glycemic index. So when it's a higher carbohydrate, it doesn't let you go into a fat burn state. So we want to try to refrain from those. So just remember, if it's on the list over here and on the next page, then you can feel free to have it. The big thing here is paying attention to the portion sizes. So you're going to not weigh this, but you're going to measure it. So for instance, in these boxes, it shows you a 1/2 cup for those vegetables. On this portion here, it shows you 1 cup or 1/2 cup. So let's kind of give you some basis there. If you're going to have something that is raw, loose, and leafy, like a salad, a spinach salad, mixed greens, anything that is raw, that is leafy, it's 1 cup equivalent for 1 serving. So if you were to have like a spinach salad, say, maybe you would have 1 cup of spinach that's raw. That'd be 1 serving. And then maybe you would have a 1/2 cup of tomatoes. That's another serving. So now we're missing 1 serving. So maybe we would do a 1/2 cup of cucumbers. There you go. You've got 3 servings of a green. That's all you need. So let's talk about if we did spinach and it was cooked. Well, if you turn over here, it shows here under moderate carbohydrate, cooked spinach. So when we reduce that loose leafy stuff down, it ends up being a 1/2 cup is the equivalent. So this is the biggest thing to pay attention to. Is it a 1/2 cup or 1 cup per serving of vegetable? Now when you're serving your lean and green, you can go ahead and have 3 different vegetables, 2 different vegetables, 1 vegetable, as long as you're having 3 servings. So just make sure to pay attention to that. That's really it in a nutshell. So let's review that real quick. 5 to 7 ounces of a lean protein. And if it's on the list of the approved proteins, then that's what you can have. And 3 servings of a green. If it's on the chart, you can have it. If it's not, then probably bypass it. Or you can always call nutrition support. If you turn to the back of the actual Quick Start Guide, the very last page, there's actually a phone number for you. Client Contact Center. Under the Client Contact Center, we actually have nutritionists that are there as well. And the nutritionist can also let you know if you have any kind of question. If you see that there isn't something that you're curious, can I have it or can I have it, just go ahead and call nutrition support. They can let you know. And we're going to talk a little bit more detail about the rest of the program, but that's what we're going to talk about right now is the lean options, right? So I want to bring something else to your attention. Are you somebody like me where after about 5 to 6 days of having a protein that is meat, I feel kind of like I need a break? To each his own. You might not be one of those people, but for me I am. So we also have a meatless options list, which is wonderful. So let's say for easy bringing to work with you, you want something you can just warm up and not have to cook. Or maybe it's those busy nights and you're kind of low on groceries. It's just nice to keep some options. So it gives you lists of stuff like Morningstar or Boca burgers or crumbles, different meatless options that taste like meat, and you can make a lot of different dishes with them. Just pay attention to what it says for serving sizes and what is allowed on here. Another meatless option might be eggs. You could have eggs with the yolk. If you do, we actually recommend that you do that no more than once a week. Even though that is a healthy fat, it's still very high in saturated cholesterol type fat. So the egg yolks, not more than once a week, but you can have egg whites as much as you want, and egg beaters. And if you look at the different lists, it will tell you the measurements of egg beaters versus eggs or egg whites. So just pay attention to that. It makes a nice meatless option. Anyways, I hope that is very helpful. If you have any more questions, get together with me or whoever your health coach is, and we're all here to support you, okay? And good luck with your lean and green. And once you've done this for about a week, it'll be like riding a bike. Bye.